My name is Max Sokoloff, and I was a student in the film workshop for 5 years, and now I am a mentor. So I first came into the film workshop when I was 13 years old, and I was very shy and very reserved, and it took me about 3 months before I made my first film. I made it while I was on winter vacation, and when I came back, I was shocked at how well it turned out, and I was amazed that it actually all came together. And so by the end of the year, I was able to make a really ambitious film with 2 actors who are professionals and an entire crew. And it was very funny because when I made that film, I was so young and I was so tiny that I walked into a government building that I want to film in, and I started to ask, do you think I could film here and get a permit? And because I was so kind and because I was so small, people were more than happy to help me, and the film was made with all of their support.
My name is Max Sokoloff. I started the film workshop when I was 13, and I'm now ending my 2nd year.
So when it came to my 2nd year in film workshop, when I started to do the lesson films, I started to take them and work on them in a different way. So I tried to make each one as refined and as thoughtful as possible, and I worked as hard as I could on each one to perfect it. And so a lot of those films I made early on in the year as a result of the lesson film turned out to be really good films that did go to film festivals, and that was very surprising. And since then, whenever I've done any project in film workshop, I've really tried to stay that focused and to work that hard on each thing and understand that no matter how small the assignment, you can really do wonders with it. In my 3rd year, I began my feature film. One of the things I wanted to try and do with Silent Anna and with shooting it was trying to not just film it in a way where you have a close-up, a medium, and a long shot.
Kill my lizard!
Trying to give the scenes a life and a special quality to them where they were dynamic and they used movement and 3-dimensional use of space in ways that are not so ordinary and that really seem to represent and give you an atmosphere of the time we're in. All the students got to experience different sides of the process. Some worked in the costume department, some worked in the prop department, some helped with the camera, and everyone had all these different positions, and by participating in this way, they learned more than they could have ever if they were all working individually by themselves. And since then, I've started 2 very complex short films. One film had a scene that was in a moving car, and so we had to simulate a moving car by putting a car in a studio in a warehouse and doing lots of complicated lighting effects to mimic street lights, car lights, both headlights and tail lights, and the movement and the rhythm of them. And so it was a big challenge. And then the other scene, which was an adaptation of Cocteau's stage play, La Voix Humaine. And that play consists of one woman on the telephone with her lover, and in the stage version it lasts 40 minutes. So I had to figure out a way to cut that down to 20 minutes and how to film that so it's interesting in the film format. And it required a concentration, a focus, and an energy, and a seriousness that's very different than when you shoot other types of scenes. I've talked to many graduates of the film workshop who have gone into film school both nationally and internationally, and what they all agree on is that although in their film schools they are learning many things in a technical capacity, they rarely deal with other aspects of filmmaking that we cover in film workshop. And that includes things about story and character, about why is a film important, what makes a certain subject matter important, what ideas and conflicts are worth dealing with, what has importance in everyone's life, what is universal. It's all these elements which add up to instill in students a passion for filmmaking and a passion for storytelling. And that's why I'm still a mentor here at the program, is that it's this energy and this passion that I love being around and encourages me to keep making films.